Yep, it's true. And here's the real paper of my adoption. Wow, it has my cleft lip on it. Probably the reason why I got left behind. And there's a lot of things to learn about my adoption, so let's... Huh? Why can't you let me in? Let me in! Before I begin, I just want to say that this is a story about me as a child, so... Obviously, I don't remember anything. And also, this video is about my story. This means that it will not be the same as other people. If you have an interesting story about your adoption, please let me know in the comments. Okay, when I was a month-old baby, I was found abandoned in an orphanage gate. And till this day, I have no idea who my biological parents are or why they dropped me off. Anyways, a staff member saw me and brought me inside of the institution. Luckily, they were able to fix my biological cleft lip and kept me in the special needs area. Then, an American family thought it would be a great idea to adopt a Chinese child, so they flew down to the orphanage that I stayed at. While they were there, they decided to pick me. What a mistake that was. And the funniest thing was that when my father saw me, he described me as a freaking lollipop because my head was so big and my body was super thin. After that, I started to live with an American family as an Asian person. And that is my story. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. You know, I just want to say that the more I got older and the more I learned about my childhood, I was probably the worst kid you could ever get as a parent. And it's not that I'm extremely rude or have to go do detention all the time. It's mostly because my freaking body doesn't work. You know when the baby can sit up straight when they're like 4 to 6 months old? For some reason, I couldn't even do that until I was 2 years old. I mean, here's a baby picture of me, and you can tell that my back is very slanted. That's because I just couldn't figure out how to sit up properly. Next, obviously, I have a bilateral cleft lip and palate, and my family didn't know this thing existed, which means they have to spend their time going to multiple hospitals and orthodontist appointments. If you want to learn more about my condition, check out my recent video about my voice, that for some reason got 1 million views. But the thing I didn't even tell you in that video was that not only the food or fluids can come out my nose, it can come into my ear area, causing an ear infection. The doctors then put an ear tube in my eardrum, and I hated this because I can't go swimming without wearing these stupid orange things I need to block my ears. Though the tube did drain out all of the fluid around my eardrum, so it was worth it. I remember as a kid going through all these problems. I felt very lonely and isolated because I'm like the only one in my family that has to deal with all this stuff. As I got older, I just had to just get used to it. But also, I was just curious about my life because I'm like the only one in my family that has to deal with all this stuff. So I started learning more about my past, and at that moment, I came to discover that I was very lucky where I live with people who chose to care for me. I start to recognize how much my family sacrificed their time just to support me, even if I don't realize they're doing it. Of course, I'm not perfect. I still get into trouble that makes my parents very angry at me. And even with all that, I still know in the bottom of my heart that I love them so much. I just want to say that if it wasn't for this family and this condition, not only I wouldn't be able to show you my story, but I would be stuck in China saying,
"Welcome to the rice fields, mother."